So when I first started riding a motorcycle, or even thinking about riding a motorcycle, well, I was almost 50 years old. If you haven't been watching my last few videos or any of them, shame on you. Nope. Nope. So I just repeat myself, let you know I've only been riding for about 10 or 12 years now. And when I first started, wasn't really sure where to begin, you know. Do I buy a bike and just start riding? It was like joining a group, and there was no handbook, no rule book. Wasn't sure really where to start. So if that's you, you're starting out and you're not really sure where to begin. Yep, I was the same. Let's go for a ride here and let's talk about it. I'll talk, you ride. No, I'll ride and talk. Put all the work on me, why don't you? So okay, so riding a motorcycle from the outside, from my perspective, yeah, it was really cool. Got the freedom of the open road, wind in your hair. But I had a buddy of mine who was bald, and he liked to say, "Knees in the breeze," because he had no hair to blow in the wind. Getting started feels like, no, I don't know. Like I said, joined a club without a handbook, rule book. So hopefully today I can break some of that down. Like I've always said, I am not a gatekeeper. Hope not to give you any confusion. And hopefully I can help you start from zero. It had been like almost 25 years for me when I started riding. So it was pretty much like starting from zero for me. So starting from zero, where the heck do I start? What do I do first? Well, the first thing you do is relax. You know, you don't need to know bikes, brands, engine sizes, or even what a CC means. At least not now yet. Boy, I hope you can hear me over this train. Wasn't expecting this. So you don't have to start. You don't have to look like a biker to start. You don't have to buy a $20,000 bike. You don't even have to buy a bike to get started. You don't even have to know shit. I said you don't have to even know shift. Shift as in shifting your bike. Conquering a clutch and all that, the friction zone, is something you will have to do eventually here. So the first thing you gotta know, you gotta come to the conclusion is you want to learn. So then I say, you want to learn, I would say start with a beginner safety course, beginner rider course. I think that's the best place to start. They literally will teach you from zero, as if you've never looked at or touched a bike before. And most people, a lot of people haven't, that go into these riding courses. They usually provide a bike, kind of walk you through the controls, and then they get you out riding a safe space, in a safe space. And I think 90% of the people that are watching this need to start with a motorcycle safety course. No guessing, and not buying a bike first. And I remind you, I am not an instructor, so you cannot get your YouTube motorcycle GED from me. Hey, I'm a poet. Didn't know it. So I better quit before I blow it, right? So, I need to quit saying so. There's the people thing, the thing that people get stuck on. They think you need to pick the perfect bike, and they don't. First thing you need to do, like I said, 90% of the people need to get to a beginner motorcycle safety course. They'll make you get some gear, get the basic gear to start with. You don't have to go out and get broke buying all the gear to look like a biker. I still don't look like a biker, and I've been doing it for almost 12 years. I kind of hodgepodge things together, things I think will fit well, things I think will work well in what I am writing. You know, that they're going to work well for me riding in cold, riding in hot summer days, and riding the kind of bike that I ride. So first start out with a helmet, gloves, long pants, and boots. And I think they asked that the boots come up over your shoulder, over your shoulders, yeah, hip waders. So your boots should come up over your ankles, at least cover that ankle bone, as far as what I've been told, and what my motorcycle course taught me or expected of me. And at first, you're gonna feel awkward. So let me just break it down here. 3 people. I'm gonna tell you, tale 3 people. Actually, it's true, so it's not a tale. But anyway, 3 people. First person hadn't ridden in about 20 years. Bought a Road King, no course, jumped on it, rode it, and did just fine. Still riding today, doing just fine. That's my brother. I swear he can jump on anything, and within a few minutes be able to drive it. He's driven everything from semis to heavy equipment, bulldozers, skid loaders, you name it. He's learned how to ride it. Not so sure he couldn't just sit in an airplane and after a few minutes, after about 10-20 minutes, maybe fly it. Not sure I'd ride with him. Rode with him through Detroit and about ripped the armrest off and kicked a hole in the floorboard where the passenger brake didn't work. For me, anyway. So anyway, that was him, and he did fine. Like I said, 90% of the people need to take the course. Other people don't. He's one of them that didn't, and he did just fine. Me, on the other hand, I hadn't ridden in 25 years. From my early 20s, just about 50 years of age, 50 years old. So, and I didn't know where to begin, and I really didn't feel comfortable getting back on a bike. I knew I wanted to ride, but I wanted to gain some confidence first, and so I took a beginner safety course. And literally the first day you spent going over a textbook, studying for the exam, the written exam, and then you did that, took the exam, everybody passed. We had people from 18 years of age to 62, 63 years of age. I was 50, remember? And there, I hadn't ridden in a long time. The guy was in his 60s. He had never ridden. We had a couple 18-year-olds that had never ridden. We had some in their 30s that had ridden mopeds, scooters, but had never stepped up to a motorcycle. So we had all those people. The first day, took the written test. Then the next day, you start out, like I said, from zero. You go in, they teach you all the, before you even climb on the bike, sit on the bike, they teach you all the controls, what they're for, what they do, and just get you comfortable, familiar with where they are and what they do. And then they get you on the bike, teach you to get it neutral, walk it. It was a Suzuki 250. There were some Honda 250s. There was a sport bike. One of the 18-year-olds jumped on right away. But you can, in this course, like I said, first walked it in neutral, learn how to back it up, walk it forward like you're parking or just getting on it. Then you started it step by step. Then it took you out in a safe space, taught you how to accelerate, how to brake, how to corner, how to do figure eights. That was the second day. And then the third day, early in the morning, they taught us the skills that we would need to pass the writing test. And so we spent the next 3 or 4 hours practicing the skills that we were going to need for the writing test. And then by the end of the day, in the afternoon, you just gave the nod to the instructor, said you're ready, and then you did the test. Cornering, taking curves, always look through the curve, look through the corner of where you want to end up, where you're going. It's easy to get distracted and kind of look at a car and you lose your line. So stay focused, keep your line, and then pass that test. And that's what I ended up doing then, was just passing that test. So the biggest, and anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I was 50 years of age. The 62-year-old rider, he was able to pass it. He did it on the first try. There was no problem, no issues at all. So the biggest mistake, well, okay, I told you I was going to tell about three people. See, I got confused looking at all those bicycles. The third guy hadn't ridden in 25 years plus. And he did not take a course. Went out and bought a street glide, took the test and passed it, did just fine. But we could tell his confidence wasn't where mine was after taking a course, because him and I were similar as far as riding experience. Maybe that's just each individual based on your own experiences, life, life lessons, life experience, what have you. He did fine. He rode with us many places, many trips. Did fine. He kind of dragged his feet a little bit as far as he didn't keep a close pack with us. You could tell he was a little bit reluctant to ride close, and I don't know if the riding course would have helped him with that or not. I don't know, but he did fine, and he'd been out of riding for a very long time too. So the moral of the story is 90% take the course, you'll gain confidence. And if you're thinking about riding but you don't know where to begin, now you do. If I left something out, please, if you're an experienced rider, chime in, leave a comment. I really appreciate it, because I'm not perfect, I don't always get it right, but I'm trying to encourage people to get out and ride, not be afraid of other people talking about the dangers of riding and scare you off. And I addressed some of those issues the last couple videos, so you can look back at those and look back at the comments. Experienced riders left a lot of good comments about that. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take the first steps. And hey, everybody's been on the same journey. So I'm still figuring it out. So stick around, and alongside of you, I'm going to take you from getting started to riding. And I appreciate you watching this. You have a great day.